Don't know if you can see me or hear me. Um, I see that we have many people already logged in. I'm very excited. I've got a new look. We'll take votes on what you think of my new look soon. I'm wearing my glasses so I can see the screen, and I've grown some facial hair, so we'll take votes on all this later. So I see that we have many people registered, and less than that are actually currently live viewing. So what I'll ask you to do, if you don't mind, is just somehow let me know you are seeing me and hearing me. Maybe type something into the chat to say hello. That would be fantastic. I'll try and keep my eye on that. Thank you, Mitch. I plan on breaking a leg in the most positive way that I can. Okay, folks, so what I want to do is I want to get started. I'm so excited. I'm telling you, we're launching Guru Builder Intensive, the 2-day, very intensive, very small group. We've limited the event to just 24 people, and actually I'm looking at my screen, so let me see if I can do this without my glasses. We've limited the event next week to 24 people, so it's a very exclusive, small group. We're going to be working experientially on your business, building your guru empire. And so it's a big deal, very excited. I've been working on this like mad. And tonight I get to share some of the insider secrets that I've never taught. I've never taught as far as how to be a guru. So tonight's a big night for me, and I hope you're here and hopefully you're engaged. I'm going to see if I can check to see if people can let me know you're here. All is well. Hi, see and hear. Yay. Can see and hear. Yay. Oh, wonderful. Looking good. Oh, well, God bless you. All right, folks. So I'm going to jump in on content. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to my PowerPoint presentation. This is a new technology for me, so if anything goes wonky, please be patient with me. But I'm going to flip over and I'm going to dig into the content. If you have a question, there's a couple of things. One, Shockwave has crashed. Oh, so Shockwave has crashed. Can you see these as well? So I'm sitting beside Steve Hubley, my business partner, who will try and fix anything that's going wrong. So hopefully we're all good. So text in any questions that you have relating to what I'm saying or anything you're hoping I'm going to cover. I don't need to necessarily run away at precisely 45 minutes, but I want to be respectful of your time. So I'm going to put on my PowerPoint. Is that okay? PowerPoint? Yeah, you have to. Yeah, okay. I got to do PowerPoint. Hold on just a moment, folks. Let's see if I can do screen share. Very exciting. Start screen share. There we go. Can you look at this, Steve, and tell me if this is okay?
Sure. Oh, no, just a deny.
Deny. Okay. Okay, folks. Hopefully you can see my PowerPoint. Let's get going. Ta-da. There we go. So tonight we're talking about how to become $1 million guru, and we're going to do it in a very time-sensitive way. I want to be very respectful of the time and keep an eye on that. So one of the things that I found people are startled with or struggling with is real fundamentals of could I do this? Who am I to be a guru? What is a guru? And how can I get the credibility, the authority, the position, whereas people would seek to work with me, to learn from me. So we're going to walk through a few things. I'm going to just sprint through my own credibility stuff because most of you already know this. So this is the book that's coming out called The Guru Builder. And this is teaching you how to become $1 million author, speaker, coach, consultant, learning the system that generated over $100 million for the authors and our partners. That's myself, Jerry Robert, Jean-Guy Francoeur. We've partnered up on this. The vast majority of the book is my content. Jerry's helped me with one chapter and Jean-Guy with another. We're going to be covering their content and mine at the Guru Builder Intensive next week. But for now, I just wanted to highlight the book. And okay, so I'm seeing that you're not seeing the PowerPoint as I am. So I just got that feedback. So hold on a moment. I'll see if I can make this a little bit easier for you. So bear with me. So let me just find out if the screen changes. I just want to know if you can see it a little bit better. The PowerPoint doesn't seem to want to load perfectly here, so I'm going to continue. Hopefully it'll be as easy as possible for you.
There's instructions if you want.
Okay, apparently there's a way to do this. So Steve will play with my computer while I keep talking. because apparently there is a way to get this to launch properly. So I'm getting really cool texts. Thanks, everybody. So my credibility, very quickly, is I'm currently, according to my buyers, and some of them are on the line, so they can vouch for me or correct me, but according to my buyers at the big banks, I'm one of the highest priced consultants, and some of them say I am the highest priced consultant they have, and my clientele are the world's 50 safest banks, and they're also on the list of the world's 10 most powerful banks. And so it's an incredible position that I currently have, and I'm very proud to have just recently added Scotia McLeod to my list, but I've been working with RBC Dominion Securities and Wood Gundy, CIBC Wood Gundy, for about 13 years. So that's my claim to fame corporately. Now, as you probably know, I've also done a ton of motivational speaking and other work, but corporately, I've had an incredible track record, incredible career. It all started when I wrote this book. I was 21 years old. I was functionally illiterate. Some of you know I come from the wrong side of the tracks financially, academically, wrong side of the tracks in many ways, and struggled as a child. And so at 21 years old, I had no degrees. I still have no degrees. And I was functionally illiterate at 29 years old. I was a Canadian national best-selling author, and that really launched my career. I'm not going to go through my whole story, but I just wanted to lay that groundwork out there. For those of you who may not know, I did not come from, I'm an academic genius, I am an academic genius, and I come from wealth and power, and I've been trained up and mentored on how to have a successful life, but rather, I'm in fact coming from a very adverse situation. In the 2 days, we're going to figure out what are your strengths and how we can work with your strengths and build from there. For every one of you, it's important that you note this. There are things that you cannot do. If you only focus on what you cannot do, that's going to be quite limiting. There was a billion things I couldn't do. There's still a billion things I cannot do. What I focus on is what I can do, and I'm going to be working with you for 2 days to ensure you're doing the same. Next, I have some PowerPoint slides to talk about the incredible people I get to share the stage with. I get to share the stage with people like Sir Richard Branson, of course with Jerry Robert, my friend and mentor. I get to also in these, there's a screen share that's going to show up at some point on my PowerPoint, which is a picture of Sir Richard Branson in the center. And just so you know, as I'm teaching, there's a 35-second delay between when I change my slides and when you hear my voice. So it seems like I'm not sure that you're hearing my voice when the slide changes. Are you listening in? Well, I would need to know if it's at the same time.
The video is on. So.
If you could listen just to find out if it's... Sorry, folks. I want to make sure I'm respectful of the timing thing, because my slides change, and then 35 seconds later they change on your computer. What I'm not sure is if my voice is trailed off the exact same time. So forgive me for this little technology thing, but we're going to get through it. Back to what I was saying. So I get to share the stage with all these super cool, super famous people. Now I get to share the stage with people like Les Brown and Robert Allen and Rudy Giuliani, Steve Forbes, Larry King, Tom Hopkins. These are people who, you know, I was learning from. I was reading books on, listening to audio cassettes. At first I couldn't read the books, but now here I am sharing the stage with them in front of thousands of people all over the world. I just got back from South Africa. I'm just resting and recuperating. In a couple of weeks I'll be in London, England, and then on and on and on. So so all of that just to say you can get there. So in the book and in the weekend, I'm going to be teaching people how to do that. I wanted to share with you specifically what's covered in the book and in the 2-day event next week, which is Tuesday and Wednesday, the 20th and 21st. We're going to walk through the desperate need for gurus, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit this evening, why it is that the world is just screaming out for leaders. In fact, let's just do that for a moment right now. You may or may not have noticed that there's a gaping hole in safe, wise leadership in our culture today. There's the passing of the giants, the people like Zig Ziglar who have passed on, the greats like Jim Rohn, some of my all-time favorite mentors. They've passed on. Who's the mentors of today? Who are the gurus of today helping people? You look at the school system. Are they teaching people what they need? Are people really connected in community, or are we all isolated through the egocentric media that teaches us to be separate. And so we've kind of weakened ourselves as a culture, and people are looking for wisdom. I was, I hope, a rarity back in the day when I had no training, no guidance, no direction, and no education. I just didn't do well there. But now I think it's far more common that young people are entering into adulthood saying, I have no idea how to create a successful life for myself. How can I ever be a father or a mother? How can I ever support a family? How can I ever make it in this world that's complex and competitive and confusing? And who's going to take me under their wing? Who's going to help me? And when the only people we can reach out to for advice are busy trying to sell us something that skews their pure message, then we've really got ourselves into trouble. So people are crying out for gurus, and I will get more into it in the 2-day, but just for right now, let me just say this. I was raised by gurus. They were my mentors who took me under their wings. They didn't know that. I was listening to them through audio and so on, but they saved my chances professionally, and people are looking for that now. The second part that we're going to talk about, we're going to do some of that tonight, is designing your guru verse or your guru empire, how to create a vision that's going to make sense for you. And we're also going to talk tonight about how to refine your message, how to define it, refine it, and enhance it until you have a message unique and powerful for the needs of today, potent and desirable, so that people will reach to their wallets to invest in what you have to teach them. Very important. We're going to be talking about that tonight. What I will not be able to speak on this evening is the tools, but in the 2-day, I'll be teaching verbal Aikido, which is advanced communication skills coupled with emotional intelligence, and the Japanese martial art Aikido, which is called the powerful path to peace. And I'll be sharing with you how, if you cannot manage your communications with yourself, with your business partners, with joint venture partners, with affiliates, with clients, with coaches, consultants, with the prospects and suspects that are out there, if you do not manage successfully your communications and your emotions, everything else can fall apart. So we're going to spend time on verbal Aikido. I have a 2-day program now. We had a 1-day program called Sales Mastery. We've now fully completed the design on that. Is now a 2-day mastery on sales, and it's called Sales Mastery for really nice non-sales people, but I'll spend some time of it on it in the 2 days, at least the fundamentals. I also teach pure coaching, or how to be a coach, how to go from zero to hero at the speed of coaching, and we're going to teach that in the book and when we're together. Also, presentation skills. It is essential as a guru that you be able to manage yourself well on stage and to sell from the stage. We're also going to spend some time on the launch, which is how to publish a book and use that as a marketing tool. The 7-digit sprint, which is within 12 months, be on track for $1 million a year practice. We're going to show you how you start by giving things away, like I am this evening, giving away free content and encouragement to earn the right into relationship. It's the safest way for people to come to know you, like you, trust you, and invest in you. So it's the 7-digit sprint. And then we're going to talk about the show business. All of this is in the book. All of this is in the 2-day. The show business is how to host killer events that explode your business. So how to put hundreds of prospects, and in my case now, globally, I'm standing in front of thousands of prospects that have all put up their hands saying, I want to develop my life. And I can market myself in person in a very emotionally moving way to thousands of people. In South Africa recently was 1,500 people in the room, and the other speakers were unable to convert. Nobody was selling anything. And I'm going to share with you what's the difference between most and me. When I got up there, I shared my presentation. At the end, 600 people attacked the back tables to invest in what I was offering. And I'm going to share with you how you can move people, move their hearts and minds from the stage and put on events that build your business. So that's the outline of the book and what we're doing next week. Next, the question people come up with, and this might be the beginning for you. What makes me a guru? So what is it that qualifies you to be that authority? So let's talk about what a guru is. A guru, and I've looked at many definitions, this is a clean one that I'm going to be using for our purposes. A guru is a leader, a teacher, and mentor. And I'll break this down in the 2-day, and we'll spend more time on each, but it's essential that you understand you must be willing to accept the responsibility of being a leader. You must develop your capacity to teach, to inform, to educate. And mentoring means that you've gone before them. you are currently experiencing or you have experienced results they desire. And we're going to talk about how you can be successful to draw others forward for their own greatness. And when you're drawing them forward, you attract a following. If you cannot attract a following, being a guru is just being a wise sage standing in a field alone. Well, that's maybe nice, but what it's not is being a successful guru. We want you to profitably, positively impact the world you can touch. And to do that, you need to attract a following. We'll show you how to do that. With today's technology and social media, there's all kinds of new and exciting ways to do that. We're going to talk about joint venture partnering and how you can have an affiliate program. And we're learning as we go to build this public sector of our business. For me, it's primarily been corporate, and I'm learning, and I'm learning from the best, and I'm passing it on to you. And then lastly, in the definition of guru, it's helping them find their way. If you're not making a positive impact, you're going to burn bridges, and you'll always have to find new people to teach. So from the beginning, working with me, I'm going to help you to design your whole business plan around delivering massive value, a massive return on investment, so that everyone who works with you, whether they start from listening to a free podcast, listening to or reading a free article, maybe getting a free downloadable copy of your book, to being able to move them into a place where they're in the same room as you, probably a large event, where they can kind of hide in the back, and then with that event, move them closer to another event, closer until they're a fully fledged, wildly successful client working with you and getting the results they desire. So we're going to design a plan that works for everybody. It's not an us or a them, it's an us. How we can work with our followers, our people, to make sure that they're getting the results. And that's the only way we can build our business. Next, when people ask me, what makes me a guru? What makes me that unique, distinct expert? Well, this is very important. I encourage you to write this down. There are three forms of expertise. One is the traditional subject matter expert. What that means is you have the credibility that comes from academia possibly, or other corporate experiences where you have a proven, tested system, process, method. You have a philosophy, a paradigm, something that's unique that you have developed over years. You have tried, proven, tested, and you can back it up. You have the goods. You're a subject matter expert. This is what I'm referred to as within the world of the corporate world. They call me a communications coach, consultant, and expert. And by the way, they called me an expert before I started calling myself it. But this is the traditional guru position, a subject matter expert. The second one, so you may have that already, and by the way, in the 2-day, we're going to identify tons of expertise within you that you may not have even seen. I'll find gold in you that you'll probably never ever find without some expert help, but we're going to find it. Next, an amazing story. Now you may have one specific unbelievable story, like you swam across the Pacific Ocean, you did it alone, you did it without GPS, and you were blindfolded. And you did it in one night. You know, some unbelievable story. And from that story, you can build systems and processes and methodologies and encouragements to be able to move people. So some of us are subject matter experts. Some of us have an amazing story. And for me, you may have picked up on the fact that I will utilize my early story, the fact that I'm an overcomer. I'm not just a survivor, I'm a thriver. I took whatever happened, whatever I was, in some people's eyes, cursed with, and turned it into a blessing. For me, ADHD is a blessing. When I'm on stage, I don't miss anything. I know who's with me, I know who's not. So I've turned my curses into blessings. And an amazing story could be some great achievement, even if that great achievement is just an overcoming story. Third, and this is what I want to make sure you on this call get, without being a subject matter expert, without having an amazing story, you can simply be a person who learns and passes on their learning. Simply put, you can be a researcher. If you look at someone like Malcolm Gladwell with his books Blink and Tipping Point and Outliers and What the Dog Saw, and I think it's David and Goliath is his latest one, which I really got to get my hands on, by the way. Those of you who have read it, give me your feedback. I'd love to hear. Well, Malcolm Gladwell is not the subject matter expert. He is a researcher. He's a journalist. He looks into a story, he looks into research on a topic, and he just digs, and he becomes masterful at organizing and articulating the gems that he's compiled. But he is not the expert who invented it. He doesn't have an amazing story other than his amazing haircut. But he's a researcher. He's a guy who said, I can gather information to serve others. And because of that, he is now an honored and well-respected global guru. But his role, his form of expertise is researcher, which, by the way, is the same as Daniel Goleman, the author of Emotional Intelligence, the world's most renowned, the singular identity for emotional intelligence, was a writer. I believe it was the New York Times. And he said, I'm just compiling this data. I'm not the expert. And after researching it well and articulating it well, the whole world sees him as the expert. So for those of you who want to be an expert, you just have to be able to interview and research and understand the greats. If you compile it well and pass it on well, you become the guru. And this is the easiest, fastest way in. Now for me, just so you know, at the beginning, I was a researcher, but I didn't really know that. I was just trying to survive. But what I was doing, without being aware of it, is I was developing my own expertise by listening and learning from everybody else and organizing them in ways that served me. So hopefully that's helpful. There are 3 forms of expertise. You don't have to be a subject matter expert. You didn't have to climb Mount Everest. You could just be a researcher. And one of the ways that you're going to do this, strong suggestion, is become good at interviewing. And we're going to build on that as we work together. Excellent. Hopefully you found that very helpful. I'm just going to jump forward to Guru Streams. I'm just going to do a little pause here for a moment. If any chats come in, just let me know things I need to address because I can't see both screens. Sorry, guys. So Guru Streams. We need to talk about the streams. So we have this expertise, whether it comes from research or an amazing story, or we're a subject matter expert. Now, how do we get it out there? One of the biggest mistakes people have used in modern day is to go with the old strategy. The old strategy is some of us are writers, some of us are speakers, some of us are consultants, some of us are coaches, and so on. To be successful today, quite simply, if you want to make it big, you cannot limit yourself to one stream. What you're going to find is there's something called the compounding competencies. I'm just going to jump forward a screen, and then I'm going to come back and clarify a little bit more. What you want to have is compounding competencies. You want to be a speaker who's also a writer, who's also a coach, who also does facilitation of experiential workshops. You want to develop the streams so that you're not limited to one. I'm going to go back to the streams now for a moment. An author. The likelihood of someone making a fortune and making an impact just writing is slim to none. When people get so focused on one stream, they often join little groups, and they're little groups of people who are also broke, and they're also not making it. You can join a writer's club and spend your life whining about writer's block, whining about how people don't read books anymore, and whining about how life sucks and you should be doing better. That's called a writer's club. You can join a speaker's club. I remember I joined Canadian Association of Professional Speakers 23 years ago. 21 years ago is when I started my career. And after joining and looking around and getting to talk to people, I realized these are all broke people. They're nice people, but they're all broke. This is not a speakers club. This is a wannabe speakers club. They're not entrepreneurs. They're wantrepreneurs. These are not people who are making it. So if you get focused on one specific stream, you're probably going to get sucked into the vortex of broke people who theorize doing that one thing. This is the same for coaches. Coaches sit around and they talk about their coaching and, oh, look at this amazing question I invented, and isn't this great? We're all broke. Let's, eat cat food or something. And so they're nice people, but they're making no money. So if you get focused on any one of these, you'll likely get sucked into the vortex of broke people who are trying to make it in that one stream. The secret to success is find a mentor who is already achieving the results that you desire. That mentor, someone like me, let's hope, right, is succeeding. And the way we succeed is we do multiple streams. The secret is you want to be more than one, and then when we work together, we're going to focus on which one is actually going to be the forefront. So are you a speaker that also writes? Are you a writer that is also a coach? Are you a consultant that's willing to do seminar facilitation? So it's not just multiple streams, but it's the many it's the order of them, the way we're positioning you. It's going to make a major difference. So be prepared to develop your competencies, because you want to have compounding competencies. On that note, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Gurus are authors. Many of these are optional. So you don't have to be a motivational speaker. You don't have to be a consultant. But if you want to be a guru, I don't know how you can hope to do that without writing a book. I remember when I was training coaches a number of years ago, one of the challenges they faced is they go out into the marketplace saying, now I'm worth X number of dollars per hour. And their friends would say, what makes you worth that? You're just you. And without that credibility of I wrote the book on, it's almost impossible to get people to say, oh, I get it. You're distinct, you're unique, you're different, you're credible, you're an authority. I should listen to you. So without having a book, I don't know how anyone can build their guru empire. So it's my strong suggestion. Fortunately for you, I can help you. Some of you know this. Many of you on this webinar have already been to the published book in Grow Rich. It's designed by my mentor and friend, Jerry Robert. He's been helping me for 23 years, and I get to give back and work with him. So for fun, I teach his book boot camp, and it's actually next weekend, May 23rd, 24th, and 25th. It's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you're interested, I'm going to give you a ticket for free, like really free. He normally charges something. He doesn't charge his full prices anymore, and the reason is he's a book publisher, and so he almost gives away his seminar, and at the seminar he meets people that he goes into business with and publishes their book. No pressure on anyone, but it's an incredible deal if you can do it. So he puts on this seminar. I am one of his trainers. Next weekend here in Toronto, near the airport, I don't have the exact hotel, forgive me, but I can get that to you in a heartbeat if you want to come. So we do this regularly, and I'm doing it next weekend right here in Toronto. And here's how the pricing plays out. Because my PowerPoint's not working well, I've just got to shift things around for you, so bear with me. The boot camp itself, he used to charge $2,000. He's actually giving everyone who attends a free book cover design, which he charges $2,500 for. And by the way, if your cover doesn't rock, your book, if you have a homemade cover, it's going to do you more harm than good. He also has a home study course, which is basically the entire weekend boot camp recorded with tons of added content, and he put it into a home study course. And I was part of the filming of that a number of years ago. So the home study course is also $2,000, and if you added it all up, it would be $6,500. And what he does now is he offers it for $188. He gives it all away. And he does that because some of the people he'll go into business with and publish their book, and he simply makes money selling books. So there's some of you that he'll want to do business with, and that's why he gives it away at $188. I asked him if I could give it to my friends, my clients, and he said yes. So I'm giving free tickets to all of you. If you want to come, you can come. And the way you register is, let me just flip back here, see if I can find my, I don't know how to do that. Do you know how I bring up that pop-up? I need to bring up a pop-up for you guys so you can register for that. Forgive me, guys. I'm learning this technology, so let me see. I'll hit a pop in.
Top one, click.
There we go.
Display.
Display where? There? There we go. Hey, there we go. Hopefully you can see on the bottom right hand of your screen how you can get a free ticket for Jerry Roberts' Publish a Book and Grow Rich Weekend Boot Camp. And I'm facilitating it next weekend. That's May. It's May 23, 24, 25. I'm your facilitator. And it's at this, what is SW? Okay, so it's at an airport hotel. We'll get you all that information. He normally charges $188 now, but if you're signing up right now with me, it's free, no cost at all. I wanted to put that out there because many of you will want to take advantage of that, and please go for it. I'll be your teacher. So moving on, there's to be $1 million guru, the 5 critical success factors, and I really want to drive this home. I hope you're getting a lot out of this this evening. I always want more time. You probably know that about me, but here are the 5 critical success factors. Number 1, competence. We must develop your competence. Your competence around your expertise, your core message. What is your core insight? What is it that you bring to the marketplace? Are you bringing a feeling to an environment that's mostly just rational and thought and brainiacs? Or are you bringing some rational capacity to an otherwise emotional industry? So, but what is your core message? We must develop it, define it, refine it, and build that expertise. Second, we must develop your competency around the streams. We must develop your ability to get that book out there. We must develop your ability to be a speaker, to handle an audience, to move hearts and minds from the stage, and then to sell, to help people across the threshold of making an informed decision in their own best interest. So all of that is just competence. We must develop your competence. Number 2 is character. You probably know this. If someone is going to refer someone, they have to have character. Dan Sullivan, the strategic coach here in Toronto, says the referability habits are: number 1, show up on time. Number 2, do what you say you're going to do. Number 3, finish what you start. And number 4, say please and thank you. Those are wonderful little triggers that remind me that it really comes down to character. Some of you have friends. Let's say, for an example, you have a friend who does home renovations. You might love this friend. You might hang out with them. You may have been best pals for 20 years. But if I ask you, should I hire them? You might be hesitant. You might actually say no. I love my friend, but no, you shouldn't hire them because of character. You know, for your business, for your empire to take on a life of its own and organically expand, it's going to come through happy customers, raving fans. You will not get raving fans without character. Definitely you need the competence, but secondly, you must have the character. And I work really hard at making sure that there's no surprise but good surprise. And as my business partner Steve and I have started up, we've had some oopsies. We've had to change some dates of things, and we're learning. We're building an airplane while in the sky, and I'll be sharing all of that openly as we work together, so you can learn from us as we're going through this together. And it just breaks my heart when I do anything short of perfect delivery of character. Always my word is my honor. So it's very important to do that. Number 3 is communication. So important. What are you going to accomplish without communicating with other people? We're going to talk verbal Aikido when we spend time together. And just so you know, this is my primary core competency. If you wonder what I'm untouchable at on the planet, and I know that sounds very arrogant, but this is my sweet spot. My core strength is communications. I will say to any corporation in any environment, quite simply, put me up against anyone, and we'll just measure return on investments. I can turn non-salespeople into salespeople. I taught a group less than 200 people who said we're service people, we're not salespeople. We refuse to sell, and in less than 6 months, after just 1 day of training for each of them, they were able to bring in over $100 million. It was in the banking industry of new deposits. And so I'm simply that confident when it comes to communication. I'll be working with you on yours to ensure you're as irresistible as possible, magnetic and clear, calm and confident. You can communicate honestly, openly, respectfully, and directly. If you can do that, you can get through almost anything. That's number 3. But we're also going to build your capacity. I'm going to talk to you about how you can build a team around you, support systems, technologies. You can have technology deal with prospects or suspects, and then only people dealing with the prospects that are qualified. So you can use technology to appropriately invest yourself. If you got a corporate contract, could you handle it? If I invited you to join me on stage in London, England next week, could you handle that? Could you afford the time away? Would you have something to sell? Could your team do the customer service? We need to build your capacity. And then lastly, the name of the game is names, contacts. Do you have your following? We must develop a following of people who are aligned with you personally, professionally, that you meet the needs that they're after in a cost-effective way. They believe in you, they support you, they will refer you, and without this contact base, everything is at a standstill. So these are the 5 critical success factors. And if you can join us for the 2-day next week, that's the Tuesday the 20th and Wednesday the 21st, we are going to spend 2 full days building your guru empire. So these are critical success factors: competence, character, communication, your capacity, and then your contacts. Now, some of you might be saying, well, this is fantastic, but it sounds like a lot of work, or I don't know, I haven't done this in the past, I haven't worked that hard, I haven't built something this big. Well, you're going to build it to the scale you want it. Don't worry about that. It's going to be the amount you want it to be. But I just wanted to remind you of something I put in my YouTube video entitled Billionaire Beliefs. I have a bunch of these sayings that I've worked really hard at writing. But I believe there are no lazy people. But there are some people lacking a compelling vision that they believe in and feel free to pursue. By the time we're done working together for 2 days, you're going to have trouble sleeping. And some of you are like, that's not good news, James. Well, what is good news is you're going to have a reason to wake up. You're going to have a reason to stay up. You're going to have a reason to put up with stuff and push through things. Some of you know what I've been through. Some of you know some losses of loved ones. And I've not just had a tough time as a kid, I've had a tough time as an adult, not due to my own actions necessarily, just life. But what pulls me through is a compelling vision that I believe in and feel free to pursue. I am compelled at the idea of transforming lives. And through you, I can transform your life, I can help, right, to positively impact your life as you transform the lives of others. And there's nothing more exciting for me. That gets me out of bed. That gets me to put up with having to learn technology here to do this. I'll do whatever it takes to be able to do that kind of impact. So my time is going to be wrapping up, and I'm going to be answering your questions. But I just wanted to, before I run out of time completely, I wanted to make sure that I invite you. Some of you have figured this out, that the only reason why people put on free seminars is because they're selling stuff. Well, I hope you're over that, because that's life. That's how we build our businesses. We build our businesses by giving away free content, earning the right to talk about our products and services, and then delivering and over-delivering every time anyone invests. Hopefully you found this helpful, you found it encouraging. I hope you can imagine that through me and the people I work with, that you could learn a lot. And I think it's safe to say that if you spent 2 days with me focused on building your guru empire, we would have a major positive impact. So I'm going to invite you to join us. Now, the unfortunate thing is we only have 5 spaces left. And this is, you know, some people say that. Well, this is true. I thought we had them all sold out, so we weren't promoting it, because we were only allowing 24 people. And then some changes happened, and some people couldn't join us. So we now have 5 spaces. That's why we're doing this webinar, to expose my work to you, to invite you, because we only have 5 spaces left. So if this sounds like it's interesting to you, you'll need to act fast. I don't know completely how many people are on the line, but there's more than 5. So trying to create a compulsion to say, I need to get it before someone else. But in all honesty, it's going to be a golden investment that we do together, and we're going to talk about it. So I want to walk through the pieces. Again, my PowerPoint's not working the way I would love, so I've just got to move things around here so you can see what I'm trying to talk about. So I have to move something down. So the 2-day Guru Builder Intensive, which is next week, which is Tuesday the 20th and Wednesday the 21st, it's 2 full days with only 24 people. That's why it's a higher cost. It's a great value, and it's just 24 people. It's $3,000 a ticket to come to our 2-day intensive Guru Builder program. We're also going to be rolling out soon. The dates will be coming out as soon as we can. We're going to be rolling out our 2-day sales mastery. Now, we had about 100 people come recently to a 1-day sales mastery, and if you're on the line, you know it was a slam dunk as far as success. People went nuts what they learned, and we wanted more time, and I had twice as much content as I had time. So we now have redesigned it. We've filled it in more. It is now a full 2-day sales mastery program. It's $12.95. We've created another product. We've combined 2 other products. We had a 1-day called Power Presenter. We had another 1-day called Stage Sales Mastery. Well, it just makes more sense to put them together, and so we've crafted the perfect program. It's called $1 Million Speaker. Whether you want to do corporate, whether you want to do keynote, whether you want to be a trainer, whether you want to be able to sell from the stage, you're going to learn that in 2 full days. It's also $12.95. Some of you have heard of my online home study course on Verbal Aikido. This is my claim to fame content. It's an online course. You can buy it online for just $4.95. I'm giving it to you today for free when you enroll. If I added these up, it's over $6,000. Everything we do comes with a full money-back satisfaction guarantee, and I've never had a problem with that in all the time I've been doing my work. And the price today, if you're one of the 5 who registers first, it's only $1,997, and it's a better than full money-back guarantee, because if you come to the programs and if you feel like this was not what you had invested in, you're not happy, it was not worth it, which I'm very confident won't be the case, but if it was, you're going to be allowed to, not only will we give you your money back, but you keep your unlimited access to Verbal Aikido online. You keep that course. So that's better than money back guarantee. And the Verbal Aikido course is Mastering the Moments That Matter. If you bought the CDs and workbooks, it'd be $700, but online it's just $500. And I'll explain it all if you have questions. Many of our students have already joined that program and are just loving it. I've had incredible reviews of Verbal Aikido, and so I want you to know that if you're joining today, that you'll have a ticket to Verbal Aikido. Some of you, I've already given you one, so if you're joining tonight, you can simply gift that to somebody else. So again, Guru Builder Intensive, it's a 2-day, Tuesday and Wednesday, the 20th and 21st. It's right here in Toronto at the airport, the Hilton Airport in Toronto on Airport Road. We'll give you all that information. So all you have to do is register right now. I'm going to see if I can find that pop-up window that invites you to do this. And I think I figured it out. And now I hit offer display. Is that right? I'm having trouble posting that offer. Just a moment, folks. It should come up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask Steve to type in a URL for you. If I can't seem to get this pop-up to pop up, if I can't get that to pop up, then oh, I think I know what I have to do. I have to remove one to display another. Aha! Yay! I figured it out. So here we are. I've put it in the pop-up, so it should be on your screen on the right-hand side. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoints. So I certainly hope you'll join us. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. You can put it in a chat window, and I'll answer any questions. My time has flown. I just wanted to take a look at the chat and see if things have come in that I would like to wrap up. Okay, hold on. Okay, so there are some folks that are saying absolutely they're coming, and some are saying that they can't because of the dates. Okay, let me see if I can bring myself back. I'm going to try and go back to me. Okay. Hey. Hello again. So I do apologize for the rush in time. We just didn't have that much time to be able to talk this evening. I certainly wish that that we could go on and on. I'm here to answer your questions. Obviously, the whole goal of this evening's webinar was to invite you to join us next week so we can really get to know each other and really build your guru empire. I've never been so excited about a program. It's a 2-day, and it's experiential. You're going to be working hard. I'll let you know now. But in the end of that 2 days, you're going to have a clear, compelling vision of your core message, your competency. What is your expertise? From what angle does that come? And if you have any questions on that, I'm going to show you how to build it. Remember, I started with nothing. I had a little bit of a sense of humor. I learned how to sell. I was just using other people's content. Stephen Covey, thank you for never suing me. I was always teaching the 7 habits of highly effective people. But I had to build from almost zero, and I had to build an airplane in the air. I had no income. I was in trouble. So I'm going to show you how you can do it from any state that you're currently in. If I've been able to earn millions over these years and enjoy world travel, flying around and whatever fancy things, and for all of that to happen, it started with almost nothing, and I can help you to start wherever you are to become that guru. So we're going to develop that plan, the expertise, your competencies in these core areas. You have your streams going. You can be an author. I'm giving you a ticket to that seminar as well, the boot camp, and that's with me as well. You're also going to want to develop your stage abilities to teach, to move hearts and minds from the stage, to actually sell, to help people across the threshold of making an informed decision in their own best interest. And by serving people greatly across that threshold, you get rewarded greatly. And when you have a customer, you take good care of them with your character. You always deliver, you build that list, you build your capacity until you can handle multi-million-dollar contracts. I remember the first time I stood in a corporate boardroom and I actually proposed a multi-million-dollar contract. I thought I was going to I thought it was going to explode. In fact, the one that just came to mind was just $70,000. One of my first, it was a big contract for me. I almost had a heart attack. I thought, I can't believe I'm asking for this kind of money. I'm just a regular guy, and this is going to be done in a couple of days. $70,000. Not a couple of days, maybe Over a couple of months, it would have taken me 8 days to deliver that $70,000 of value. And just asking for that money scared me to death. And I'm going to help you to develop the competence so that you know the return on investment. You know your clients are making 10 times what they're paying you. You can feel very good. You're selling dollars for pennies. And when we can develop that confidence and competence and then the ability to move people, then your empire is going to build. But I definitely want to encourage you to build your competencies in your streams. Be an author, be a speaker, be a coach, be a mentor. We're going to develop those streams and how to be a consultant. We're going to walk through those streams and figure out which one is your front leg. So I want to just be available for questions now. Do we have questions coming in? Because I just noticed my technical time just ran out. Thank you, by the way, for joining us. This is my first webinar using this new technology and under the umbrella of Guru Builder. So yay, team, you made it. Liking the facial hair. Yay! I didn't know about that. I didn't know how that would go. I was on a writing break last week when I got back from South Africa. I took a little break. And some of you, by the way, many of you are keeping in contact with myself and Steve, and Martine, and many of you have been really caring. Just, is James okay? We know he's working hard. He's traveling a lot, and I really appreciate the fact that we're building a community of real leaders, people who the world needs to learn from. So I'm honored and I'm grateful. I am doing well, and this came from a writing break, and so. Anyways, enough about my facial hair. Thank you very much. Let me see where we are as far as questions. One of the most common questions is, where do I begin? So I would say I would want to spend some time with you to answer that question, just to understand fully where you're coming from as far as what is some you might want to write this down. Where are some what's called low-hanging fruit? What that means is there might be money just sitting around you that you're not aware of. There could be sponsorship money, joint venture money. There could be, you've already been an employee, but you could be a consultant and work 1/10 of the time for twice the money. There's some money just sitting around you that without someone who knows how to spot it, you may never see it. So I might be able to spot money just sitting around you. I'll tell you at I think it was the Sales Mastery Seminar, one of our attendees, and you might be on this webinar, so thank you. But someone came up to me asking me, they said, I have a problem with my customers. I take them this far in the process, and then they fail to take action. And if they fail to take action, I can't move them forward on the next part of the process. And so they said, how do I deal with that? It's a big loss. I'm losing a ton of money. And so it just took me a couple moments, and I went, wait, couldn't you offer a service to help them across that gap? And it just took a couple moments. She realized, oh my gosh, yes, this could be her most profitable part of her process. She does this, she does that, and now she never has to wait. She actually charges people money for the solution to get them across this gap. So you probably have some what I call low-hanging fruit sitting around you, and I'll be able to spot that, and my team will help. Jerry Robert says he's a master at finding the fastest path to the biggest cash. And for those of us who have been gurus for a while, we've been out there, we can smell the money, we can see the money. Now, we're not money hungry. I promise you that's not my primary interest, although I do have a nice new car between you and I. But I'm not big on the money thing. For me, it's about making a difference. But if I'm not financially well off, I can't help anybody. So we've become masters at finding the money to protect our wellness so we're still able to serve. So I'll give you one of my quotes some of you may have heard. But compassionate contribution, that means the giving part of us, and almost everyone who I work with has that strong heart, and I want to support you in that. But compassionate contribution that flows from abundance, so giving from abundance without taxing our wellness, is the only sustainable philanthropy. Some of us want to give, but if we're already in trouble, you're just going to become a dependent that the rest of us have to save. So I want to encourage you to become well enough. Let's fill your bank account. Let's make you strong. Let's make you able. And from that strength, you can help others. I imagine someone who's on the top of a hill reaching down to help somebody else up who's in trouble, coming up a cliff. Well, if that person up top isn't strong, they can't actually help anybody. So we need to take care of your financial well-being, make sure that you've got lots of money sitting there, lots of wellness, so you can focus on the needs of others. It's very important, and if you need help on finding that, just be a part of this program. If you can do that, then I can help you with that, almost for sure. Almost everyone has money sitting there. They just don't know how to access it or to spot it. So that's step one, is how do you get started? And I would say you get started by taking care of finances. I would make sure that you come, if you can, come to our book boot camp, the one that Jerry Robert puts on, and I'm actually teaching next weekend. And if you can't come to that one, still register and just tell us which date you can come to, because you're going to learn a ton there about getting sponsorship money, how to raise the money. So writing a book doesn't cost you anything, and you don't have to wait for a publisher. We'll explain publishers, but you're in power, you're in business immediately. So very important, if you can get to that book seminar, do that. And that's no cost. Just make sure you're there. That's going to be a huge hit. What else? I would really be strongly encouraging you to start asking, what is my core message? And we're going to spend 2 days on this, but if you want some homework, start writing these things out. Number one, what do I love? And I don't mean love as in for consumption purposes, but what do I love to do as far as helping or teaching? I love talking about this. I love helping people with these problems. I love whenever I'm working with kids, or I love it when I'm working with seniors, or I love it when people ask me those kinds of problems. I love it when my friends come to me for help. So let's be clear what you love about serving. Next, begin to notice the crossover. We're going to talk about this in the 2 day, but Einstein didn't have a bigger brain than most people, but he did have a more dense brain. So I'll talk about this for a moment. We'll spend more time on it. But what made Einstein one of the greatest minds of all time is not the size of his brain, but the density of it. What creates a dense brain? It's funny that people used to use the word dense to insult someone, but technically it's a compliment as far as mental capacity. So gray matter, I believe it was the gray matter, forgive me, I'm just doing this on the fly, but I believe it's the gray matter that's formed when we're young. We learn lots of stuff. And then it stops growing at some point. Then we build what I think is called white matter. It's one or the other, but I think it's the white matter that we start building after that. And what that is it's a connection between this and this and this and this. What made Einstein a super genius, and what I'm encouraging you to begin to do, is notice the transferable principles. Write that down. Notice the transferable principles. If you learn something in horticulture, if I do this with the seed of this plant, it helps. How does that affect, how can those principles apply in relationships? How can aerodynamics apply in sales? How can this apply to that? And when you start taking the genius, the experience from your background, I'm guessing that you have been provided the secrets of the universe, but they're all kind of disjointed. And when you begin to package them, you realize, oh, I learned that here, I learned that here, I learned that here. I have a heart over here. When they come together, I'm on fire. So that's what we're going to be doing when we work together. We're going to really start identifying all of the gold that's currently sporadic and pulling it together and then marketing it well. So start to notice, what have you learned? What are your experiences? What are the gems? What principles or ideas or philosophies? Do you have a different way of looking at things? Begin to write all these things down, and don't worry about how it's all going to come together. Just start writing these things down. Let me just pause and make sure that I'm being respectful of time. 52 minutes, yeah, so I'm way over. Any questions that I should be answering, sir? So, folks, I promised 45 minutes. We're now at 52. I don't need to go away, except where I need to be respectful of your time. If there's a question, I'll answer it. I don't know that I have anything else that's come in. So we're now friends. Don't hesitate to contact me. You can always email us at info. Can you type that in for me, Steve? Info, as in information, info at eqcommunications.com. And if you'll do that, Steve will get a copy of that, I will get a copy of that, my assistant Ann will get a copy, and they'll keep me accountable to make sure that I'm responding, we're responding. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us and let us know. We want to be as responsive and servant-minded as possible. For those of you who have ever started a business, you understand we're going nuts because, quite frankly, once I launched the Guru Builder book, the corporation started going crazy. And So all my work across the board is all flying at once. So I'm now being pulled and pushed in a million directions. But you are where I want to invest my time. I'm telling you straight, and I'll tell them, this is where my heart is. I want to develop tomorrow's leaders, and I want to help you to develop the capacity that people will follow you. You know, leadership occurs when an individual or group of individuals choose, consciously or unconsciously, to follow the example or direction given by another. And I want you to be the person that people follow. They follow your example, they follow your direction, and you do that well, and you do a return on investment that they say, we need to do more and more and more. I see that we have a couple seats left, so I'd love it if we pack it up. So please do register for the Guru Builder Intensive. We get to work together for 2 days. I'm stoked about this. Please do join us. And also the Publish a Book and Grow Rich Bootcamp. I'm the facilitator of that as well. So you get like 6 full days of James. I don't know if you can put up with me, but we're going to have an incredible time. So at the end of it, like if you were able to do both, quite simply, you are going to walk out of there just bouncing off the stars. Allow me to help you create that compelling vision, and there'll be no turning back. And I really encourage you strongly, if you can join us, mark those dates on the calendar of those dates that you made decisions that just changed everything for you and the world that you can touch. We may not be able to touch the entire planet, but the part that I can touch, I want to have a positive impact. We want to leave a legacy. We want to live, learn, love, and leave a legacy. And I want to be a part of that for you. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you joining me. This has been a lot of fun for me, and I hope the questions keep coming in, and I'll keep on responding. So if anything comes in through info@eqcommunications.com, we will make sure as a team that we reply as soon as possible. Again, thank you so much. God bless. Have a fantastic night, and make sure that you're registered. Yes, sir? And now I hit the red button. God bless you guys. Talk soon. Bye.